In this topic, we're going to be starting with the discussion about settlement commission. In fact, in this particular small short video, I'm going to take you through the entire chapter so that you have an overall view. And then of course, we'll spend time doing the details. What is the settlement commission? Why do we need it? Now imagine an assessee who suddenly has the fear of being caught. His case is open either under 143.3 or 144 or 147 or 153A or under fresh assessment, and he sees that the department is kind of catching on to what all naughtiness he's been up to, and he feels that if they find out his actual income, they're not only going to levy tax, then he's going to be harassed on the penalty, prosecution, and it's going to be a lengthy battle. He'll have to go to the CIT appeals, the ITAT, the High Court, the Supreme Court. He wants an escape route. He wants an easy settlement. And that's where the settlement commission, or what we call, a panel for dispute resolution, which was proposed in 1976 by the Vanshu Committee, and the principal bench was set up in New Delhi in 1976, and there are 3 additional benches in Kolkata, Chennai and Mumbai. The power to form the settlement commission came under 245B of the Income Tax Act, under which the settlement commission was formed. Now the principal bench consists of the chairman and 2 members, and each of the other 3 benches will consist of the vice chairman and 2 other members, which are secretary level. You'll have the director general, who will be supporting the chairman and the vice chairman in settlement of cases. Now what does the assessee do? First of all, the assessee must be honest enough to declare whatever income he has earned, along with the manner in which he has earned it, by making an application to the settlement commission. But he can only make an application if a case is pending with an income tax authority. So if the case is pending, either I said under 143, 144, 153A or 147, or even in fresh assessment, and he wants to come out clean, what he does is he makes an application to the settlement commission. Now in this application, he could be declaring income for 1 year or more than 1 year, but the additional tax should be more than 10 lakhs. In case of search and seizure, the additional tax should be more than 50 lakhs. And I say additional, this is in addition to whatever the department has already found out. Plus you need to tell the settlement commission how you earned it. You need to deposit the tax along with interest, if any, before the application is submitted. Now, once you submit an application, you cannot withdraw it. That is one. But the moment the application is submitted, now the settlement commission is first going to decide whether they want to admit the application or not. They're going to take 14 days to do it. Within 14 days, either they say, okay, yes, we admit it, or they're going to reject it. The moment they reject it, the matter goes back to the AO. Now understand, you've disclosed things to the settlement commission, you've paid the tax. The tax that you paid will of course be allowed as a credit, but the information you've disclosed to the settlement commission will now be used by the AO. So that's a danger. But once the settlement commission accepts it, now what they're going to do, they're going to send a notice to the commissioner of income tax, asking the commissioner information about the assessee, details about the assessee, and whether the assessee has been honest enough to disclose everything before the settlement commission. They are seeking the opinion of the commissioner. Now the commissioner will file the report. Within 15 days of the report of the commissioner of income tax, the settlement commission will again make a decision on whether they want to continue or abate. If at that moment they say, yes, we don't want to continue, the proceedings abate, again the matter goes back to the AO, and again the tax deposited, and again of course all the information that you've given to the settlement commission can be used against you. Again the danger. Once the settlement commission starts saying, okay, let us admit it, let us now decide on it, then they have further powers to call for information. They can again ask the commissioner to give information on the assessee, details. They can set up inquiry committees. They will then pass an order within 18 months from the end of the month in which the application was received. Within 18 months from the end of the month in which the application was received. In this order, they will give the assessee time to pay the tax, and the assessee must deposit all the tax. Later, if it is found that there is an error or a mistake apparent from the record in an order of the settlement commission, they can rectify it within 6 months from the end of the month in which the order was passed. Further, once a settlement commission has given an order for the years covered in the order, the jurisdiction of the department finishes, which means settlement commission can order immunity from penalty and prosecution, so that once settlement commission has taxed extra income, the department does not start the penalty and the prosecution proceeding. So if you've been honest enough, cooperative enough with the settlement commission, they'll say, okay, pay the tax, and that's it. You will not be troubled again. But please remember, the application to the settlement commission can be made once in a lifetime. You cannot make it again and again. You can't make it a habit. But we are not saying you can make an application for 1 year. You can make an application for 1 or more years, but only once. And that 10 lakh and 50 lakh limit is not per year. It is either in 1 year or the aggregate of years. No appeal can be filed against the order of the settlement commission. So you need to now understand that this is going to be the main procedure that we are going to be doing, and the basic idea is for the assessee to come clean. Let's now go and look at the details of when a case is pending, how the procedure to calling for information happens, what happens after abatement, because we've looked at one stage wherein they reject, the second was abatement, the third, if later after the order it is found that you had obtained it by fraud or misrepresentation, the order of the settlement commission will be declared void, and then again the AO will start making the proceedings or making the assessment again. He will of course get additional time, plus the stoppage of time in the rejection or the abatement will also be added to his assessment time under 153 explanation 1. All of that let's go and do in detail now.